Before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more awesome movie recaps. The story takes place in the year 2000, following a quiet and naive teenager named Alice who studies at a strict Catholic high school. The environment is so harsh that many students drop out within the first few days. The discipline teacher inspects every girl's appearance closely. She even measures their skirts to make sure they meet the school's moral length. The institution is notorious for its extreme religious beliefs. In their eyes, lying is a grave sin, and watching romantic movies is enough to warrant punishment. Most students accept this blindly, but Alice, who's in the middle of her confusing teenage years, starts to question things. She's curious about topics she's been told are forbidden, especially anything related to sexuality. Father Murphy, the school's principal, leads sex education classes where he insists that any sexual act not meant for reproduction is sinful. One day, a student nervously asks if self-pleasure is allowed. Father Murphy replies coldly, "Does that make babies?" and reminds everyone that any kind of sexual activity before marriage leads to eternal damnation. These lectures only make Alice more conflicted. Her mind is curious, but her faith tells her she's wrong for feeling this way. Her best friend Laura doesn't understand her confusion at all. She believes teenagers should just focus on school and stay pure. When Alice returns home, her curiosity takes over. She logs onto AOL, a popular chat service at the time. While browsing random chat rooms, she receives a message from a stranger using the nickname Hypocrisy1956. Without warning, he sends her explicit pictures of himself with his wife. Shocked and disgusted, Alice quickly turns off her monitor. But after a few moments, curiosity wins again. She turns the computer back on and starts looking at the pictures. Soon, Hypocrisy1956 messages her again and asks for her ASL. Alice doesn't know what it means, so he explains it stands for age, sex, and location. Nervous but intrigued, she lies and says she's a 22-year-old woman from Iowa. When he asks for a photo, she sends one of her friends instead. Excited, he starts sending more inappropriate messages, full of terms Alice doesn't even understand. Then, he asks if she's enjoying herself. Unsure what to do, Alice follows his lead, and for the first time, she feels something strange but thrilling. Just as things escalate, her mom walks in, and Alice quickly shuts off the computer. The next day at school, a popular girl confronts Alice and Laura in the cafeteria, laughing that Alice tossed Wade's salad. The rumor spreads like wildfire, but Alice has no idea what the phrase even means. She denies everything, insisting she barely knows Wade, a nerdy stoner kid. When the girl leaves, Alice starts licking the cream from her snack absent-mindedly, which makes the boys nearby burst out laughing. Moments later, Wade and his girlfriend walk by and call Alice disgusting. The discipline teacher soon hears the rumor and bans Alice from helping during Mass, warning her that God is watching. Feeling guilty about her actions online, Alice later confesses to Father Murphy. He doesn't scold her harshly but tells her to avoid such behavior and assigns her 20 prayers as penance. Soon after, the school organizes a weekend retreat for students to reconnect with God. Alice and Laura both sign up. Laura is eager to impress a senior named Nina, while Alice sees it as a chance to cleanse her soul. When they arrive at the campgrounds, Alice immediately notices Chris, the retreat leader and football team captain. She's drawn to him. Laura, meanwhile, gets paired with Nina, which makes her thrilled, but Alice and Laura end up in different groups. That night, Nina collects everyone's belongings, claiming it's part of the rules. Alice hands over her watch but secretly hides her phone. The next morning, Father Murphy gives a long, dull sermon, declaring that God himself has called them on this retreat. Afterward, students are asked to fill out a survey about their emotions during the year. Alice circles a few feelings, including turned on, but as she rethinks it, she tries to cross it out awkwardly before handing it in. The next activity involves going on stage and sharing personal experiences. Nina seizes the chance to gain attention, dramatically telling a story about her family neglecting her as a child. Everyone hugs her in sympathy, and Alice feels even more out of place. That night, while everyone sleeps, Alice secretly uses her phone. She sets it to vibrate and, out of curiosity, presses it between her legs. For the first time, she feels sensations she can't explain. But then she glances at the crucifix on the wall and freezes, guilt flooding her face. The next day, the students hike through the woods. When one girl trips, Chris rushes to help her up, which gives Alice an idea. She pretends to fall too, and when Chris helps her, she's overwhelmed with excitement. For the first time, she's happy at the retreat, but her happiness doesn't last long. That evening, Nina finds Alice's hidden phone when it accidentally vibrates. She confiscates it and reports her to Father Murphy, who punishes Alice by assigning her cleaning duties around the camp. While tidying up later, Alice notices Father Murphy's computer left on. Curious, she logs into AOL and types, "What does tossing the salad mean?" The chat explodes with various responses, none of them clear. Just then, she hears footsteps and quickly shuts off the monitor, not realizing she left it open. As she leaves, she runs into Nina, who teases her about the rumor with Wade but tells her not to worry. She believes Alice is on the right path spiritually. The next morning, Chris gathers everyone for a group activity. He asks the students to confess something they regret, explaining that sharing helps relieve guilt and stay closer to God. One by one, students open up emotionally. One boy talks about his parents' divorce, another girl about missing her grandmother's funeral. When it's Alice's turn, she panics, she doesn't know what to say. So she makes something up, claiming her dog was poisoned and she couldn't save him. The fake story moves one of the girls to tears. Later that day, during lunch, Father Murphy storms in looking furious. He announces that someone has been watching adult material on his computer. He demands the culprit confess immediately, warning again that God is watching. No one speaks, so he leaves, clearly unsettled. Alice feels sick with fear. She knows she's the one who accidentally left the computer open. Soon, the teachers start calling students one by one to Murphy's office. When it's Alice's turn, he begins with fake kindness, asking how her relationship with God is going. She nervously says, "Good." He then brings up the survey and asks why she circled turned on. Alice quickly explains that she only felt that way before the retreat, not anymore. Murphy then mentions the rumor about her and Wade and pushes her to admit it. Still confused about what the phrase even means, Alice insists she's innocent. Later, when Alice is cleaning the cafeteria, Wade tries to mess with her by throwing garbage everywhere. She finally snaps and yells at him, demanding to know why he's spreading lies. Before he can answer, Father Murphy arrives and pulls him away. As Alice goes back to cleaning, she notices Wade's bracelet on the floor and picks it up. Then, as she walks past the window, she sees something shocking, Nina kissing and getting intimate with a random man in the woods. Alice freezes, both confused and strangely aroused. Flustered, she grabs the mop and presses it between her thighs, trying to release her frustration. Afterward, she rushes to tell Laura what she just witnessed. But instead of believing her, Laura gets angry. She accuses Alice of being perverted and making up stories about Nina. She even calls her a sick freak and says she knows Alice used Father Murphy's computer for AOL. Hurt and fed up, Alice decides she's done hiding. She sneaks into Father Murphy's office again, places Wade's bracelet on his keyboard, and prepares to leave, but he suddenly enters the room. Before she can explain, he panics and shoves her into a closet. Then, to Alice's horror, he sits down and opens his holy computer, only to start watching explicit videos. Alice, trapped in the closet, closes her eyes in disgust as the man who lectures others about sign gives into his own. When she finally escapes, Chris finds her outside looking shaken. He gently checks if she's okay, trying to comfort her. Overwhelmed by emotions, Alice impulsively kisses him. Chris immediately pulls away, awkward and confused, and runs off. That night, while everyone is praying, Alice sneaks away from the retreat to clear her head. She wanders into town and stumbles upon a small lesbian bar. The owner, Gina, notices her distress and invites her to sit. They talk, and Alice opens up about her fears, how she's terrified of going to hell, how everyone at her school hides behind fake holiness, and how she's scared to even make small mistakes. Gina listens patiently and tells her story. She grew up in a strict Catholic home too, but she refused to let the church define her. She says, "You can't find yourself if you're too afraid to be real." Her words comfort Alice, and for the first time, the girl smiles genuinely. Before driving Alice back to camp, Gina advises her to look for colleges with open-minded people. As Alice leaves the car, She shyly asks Gina what tossing the salad actually means. Gina bursts out laughing and says, "It means licking someone's butt." Alice laughs awkwardly, half in shock. The next morning, during breakfast, Father Murphy drags Wade away. He's found the missing bracelet and assumes Wade was the one who used his computer. Alice stays silent, finally relieved. Laura approaches her afterward and apologizes for not believing her earlier. She even reveals that Wade is gay and spread the rumor just to cover up his own secret. Back at school days later, Chris bumps into Alice. He's still nervous, but when she assures him she just wants to be friends, he relaxes. That evening, Alice meets Father Murphy again for confession. Calmly, she tells him she watched an adult video during the retreat. As she describes the scene, Murphy realizes she's talking about the same video he was watching. They exchange an uncomfortable silence, both aware of the truth but pretending not to be. When she asks if she'd be punished, he simply says, "I don't know," guilt heavy in his eyes. In the final scene, Alice sits in her room watching Titanic. As the romantic scene plays, she smiles faintly and lets herself finally be at peace with who she is. When she looks beside her, she finds a vibrator, probably her mom's, and the screen fades to black as she laughs softly. If you enjoyed the recap, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss any new movie breakdowns.